Hello, everyone, and welcome into a Butt Fumble Sports Night Show. Hope you guys are doing well. Here for subscribers only. So if you are a subscriber of Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, welcome into the show. We are here to help you guys out in any way we can. So for all of those watching, for all of those joining us, welcome in. We hope you guys are excited about what we're going to cover over the next maybe half hour or so. I don't know how long we'll be on. But if you're a subscriber, fire away with your questions here to help you out. That's what we're here for. Butt Fumble Sports is live here to help you out with all of your questions where we can. So, ask us questions. That's what we're here for. We are going to focus on subscribers tonight, so subscribers only. Make sure you're getting those questions asked. Butt Fumble Sports wants to help you guys out. I don't think I'm going to have anybody join the show, John. I don't think I'm going to have a guest on tonight. Not going to have guests on tonight, but appreciate you trying. We're just going to stick to questions on the chat. AJ, hey man, would you start Kyler or Tua? AJ, I lean slightly towards Kyler, believe it or not. Majomes, thanks so much for the snow. Really appreciate it, Majomes. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. I just watched a very good but very intense movie, so forgive me if my mood's a little bit different than it normally is. I just watched Maestro on Netflix and didn't expect to be so emotionally impacted by it, but phenomenal movie. Hope you guys check it out at some point. Jacoby, Saquon, Garrett Wilson, or Ridley. Jacoby, it's all about the status of Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence is healthy, I'd go Calvin Ridley. Otherwise, I actually might think about starting Garrett Wilson against a Washington Commanders defense that is really bad against the pass. If you have a fantasy question, feel free to fire away, whether on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Luis Garcia, Fields or Lamar? I'd go Fields, actually. I'd go Fields. AJ, James Conner, or Kenneth Walker? AJ, I'd go Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker for me. Judy Hernandez, start Love or pick up Mayfield, Browning, or Flacco, or Carr. Judy Hernandez, I'd go with Baker Mayfield. Judy, Baker Mayfield would be the play for me. AJ, that's why we're here. For all those watching, throw your questions, your comments, whether it's fantasy football related or sports related, in the chat. Here to help you guys out in any way we can. We know this is a crucial week for you fantasy owners, and we want to make sure we come through with as much advice as possible before kickoff of games. Jorge, how do you spell the movie you watched? Maestro, Maestro. It's about Leonard Bernstein. It's a Bradley Cooper directed film. He stars in it. Just released on Netflix today. Phenomenal movie. Some great performances. Just a very thoughtful, very moving piece. Yo boy Alex, pick one for the flex. James Conner, Ridley, or Kamara? Yo boy Alex, I'm going to lean towards Kamara just barely. Yo boy Alex, I'd go Kamara. Luis Garcia, Kupp, Rice, Moore, Adams, or Higgins? I'm going to go Kupp and Moore. Luis Garcia, Kupp, and Moore would be the two for me. Majomes, Josh Jacobs thoughts. I hope he's healthy enough to go. If he is, I'd probably put him in the lineup depending on who else you have. But frankly, the Chiefs are a decent run defense, so it really has to be, he has to be healthy. It can't be a questionable. He needs to be, hey, we don't have doubts, he's going to play. So Majomes, I'm watching his health status very carefully. Pop Lobo, thoughts on Jaylen Warren this week? I really like the matchup against the Bengals, so it is a play that I'm probably going to go with, is Jaylen Warren, getting him in the lineup, even if it's a flex play. Marrow, too crazy for flex, and both side recovers, which between the four? I don't understand the both side recovers, but if you're asking me to pick four, I'd go Rice, I'd go Moore, I'd go Zay Jones if Trevor Lawrence plays. If Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I literally go with the other four. So for me, it's all about whether Trevor Lawrence plays. If Trevor Lawrence does play, I think it'd be Pittman that I would sit. Obviously, him coming off the head injury, I don't know his status with the concussion. So Marrow, too crazy. You might be sitting Pittman either way. Luke, pick two, Devontae, JJ, Keenan Allen, or Ayuk. Luke, I'd go Devontae and JJ. Devontae and JJ. Majomes, it's Jacobs or Javonte. So, yeah, probably Jacobs if he's healthy enough to go. Yo boy Alex, Warren or Kamara? On that one, I might lean slightly towards Kamara, actually. It's very close between those two. I think it's a coin flip, yo boy Alex. Luis Garcia, Walker, Montgomery, Swift, Henry, start two. I would start Swift and Henry. I'd start Swift and Henry. I like Swift's matchup a whole lot more against the New York Giants run defense that is bad. Damian Skyberg, great to see you this evening. Start Stafford or pick up Love, Carr, Flacco, Minshew, Murray, or Fields. I'm going to lean maybe just slightly I may lean slightly towards Kyler Murray. It's close between Murray, Flacco, and Fields. I might lean slightly towards Kyler Murray, though. Jacoby, start 3. Jacobs, Eckler, Singletary, Taylor, Chase Brown. Man, don't like that group of running backs. But Jacoby, I'd go Chase Brown would be one of them. I might go Jonathan Taylor too, though I don't love it. And I would probably go Jacobs 3, but I got to admit, I'm not thrilled about him. Jorge, have you watched the documentary on Aaron Hernandez? The answer is yes. I really didn't need to. I didn't think it was that good. I don't think the insights on Aaron Hernandez are that important. So, screwed up childhood, yes, but I don't want to, Maestro's a movie about Leonard Bernstein and about a conductor and his wife. I really don't want to talk Aaron Hernandez, docs. Jets info, I'm expecting slight regression from Purdy next season, but could we still expect a QB1 numbers? Absolutely, Jets info. From a dynasty standpoint, I'd hold on to him, and it's all about the roster that they built around him. The 49ers aren't just a great roster now. They have really good leadership in their general manager and their head coach. They know how to continue to build around the pieces that they have. I feel very good about the fact Brock Purdy is living out his Tom Brady experience, and what do I mean by that is Tom Brady came into a good situation in the early 2000s, had a great team built around him, and had an organization that knew how to build upon that great team that he had. I think Brock Purdy's in a similar situation. They're only going to add to the pieces around him, continue to improve on that offensive line, and by Brock Purdy still being on that Mr. Irrelevant QB contract discount, it actually allows the 49ers to make a whole lot of moves in free agency. Yo boy Alex, Dak or Tua? Tricky. I don't really like either one of them this week. They both fell on the hate list, but I'd probably go Dak just barely over Tua. It's close, though. Luis Garcia, Adams, Rice, Walker, Higgins for the flex. I'd probably go Rice, Luis Garcia. I'd go Rice. Ryan Daughtry, I'd go Achane over Montgomery. Achane over Montgomery. Kike is Guap. I'd go Jets over Browns, just barely. It's very close, but I think I'd go Jets over Browns. TJ, bench 2. Okay, TJ, I would bench Eckler, and I would bench... I don't like Singletary or Javonte, to be honest, but I'll bench Singletary just because I know he's splitting more touches. So for the moment, Javonte is a terrible matchup, but I'd probably bench Singletary and Eckler. It's close, though. Majomes, Past Lives, also a good movie. Okay, gotcha. Mero, Too Crazy, Start 2, Kamara, Kyron, Achane, or Josh Jacobs. Mero, Too Crazy, I'd go Kyron and Achane. Kyron and Achane. AJ, I'd go DJ Moore in your flex. AJ, I'd go DJ Moore in your flex. Luke, also pick 2. I'd go Kyron and I'd go ETN. Luke, I'd go Kyron and ETN, I think, but it's close. Deadpool, oh my God, Rodgers is active. Yes, he's active, but not expected to play this season. I think they activated him just to, frankly, crush that threshold, but I don't think he's actually going to play. Jorge, have you done your research for Thursday Night Football? Yes, I have, actually. Kike is Guap. We got to your question. If you guys have a question, all you have to do is subscribe. Subscriber-only show for at least a few minutes. I promised I would come on and talk some fantasy football with you. Forgive me for being delayed. I got caught up in that movie, and frankly, if you guys see it, it's one of those you can't really leave with a half hour left in the movie, so decided to finish it and then came on live. By the way, thank you so much for the gift. We really appreciate that, Deadpool. Thanks for the snowfall. AJ, TJ Hawkinson or Goddard? I'd go Hawkinson. Connor, Start 3. I'd go Cooper, Kupp, and I'm going to lean towards Rice. Cooper, Kupp, and Rice. Thanks so much for the gift, guys. Really appreciate it. I have to be honest. I was conflicted about coming on tonight. The movie kind of hit me in a heavy way, and I was like, do I really want to come on live? And then I thought to myself, and it was like, if the movie has me kind of in a down mood, what better audience and what better way? Movie, great performances, impacted me pretty heavy. So anyways, that's why if I don't have the same energy or enthusiasm, forgive me, certainly why I'm a bit delayed. But I don't want to talk movie reviews. I'm here for fantasy football. So if you guys need help with any of your sports betting, your fantasy football, obviously with fantasy football lineups, we're here for it. Connor, pick up Packers defense, Eagles defense, and drop Raiders defense. I'd pick up the Packers and I'd pick up the Eagles. Yeah, that's right, Connor. That's right. Thoughts on the whites versus colored players. Kike is Guap. I saw Rashad Mendenhall. I saw that whole thing. I think it's an interesting conversation in like the worst way. I think it obviously doesn't necessarily promote the best, most uniting values within us. But what I would say is, let's all call a spade a spade. I believe African American players, if they played in that Rashard Mendenhall scenario, they would win. And why would they win? Because frankly, I think there are more talented players in the NFL. And the biggest spot is there's no longer, for the moment, yes. For the moment, yes, they've locked in a bunch of those players, but it's all about Brock Purdy being on that discounted contract that makes it possible. Luke, after they pay Purdy, DeVito Pizzeria rant. I saw that he actually went to the pizzeria. I was happy that he did, because to charge $10,000 extra after you kind of pop on success would have made me feel a little less about Tommy DeVito. John, great to see you, John. Thank you for the discount. Thanks for ordering the shirts. I'm glad that you got some shirts for yourself. John, really appreciate you being with us tonight. I know I'm not having any guests live on the show, but if you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Definitely here to help you out. Jets Info, appreciate you as always. Love the insight. Not only give your opinion, but explain around the reasonings. Me and my buddies are some huge fans of you. Jets Info, I cannot say how much that means to me. It's the reason I came on tonight. I have to admit that movie got to me a little bit. I was feeling a little down, and I was like, what's the best way if I'm feeling a little down to just, connect with some folks, especially with it being late at night and I can't go out to see friends? Why don't I jump on Butt Fumble Sports on social media and go talk to some of the friends that I hang out with every single day? Kike is Guap, Taysom Hill or Conklin at tight end. Kike is Guap, that's a tricky one because Conklin actually has a really good matchup. I'd go Taysom Hill, but I don't feel great about it, because I think Ayuk's contract ends soon. I hope we pay him. Luke, Ayuk is expendable. He's one of those players where he's very talented. He's certainly coming into his prime. I'm really high on Ayuk. But if I'm the 49ers, I can find other wide receiver talent in the draft. So would I pay Ayuk? No, I would preserve that money for other positions. I don't feel the same about McCaffrey, Debo. You got to pay those guys. But Ayuk, I actually think you could move on from. Ryan, start two. Ryan, I'd start Amari Cooper and Breece Hall. Amari Cooper and Breece Hall are the two for me. I do like Olave. I do like T. Higgins. It's Breece Hall, though, barely. I wish you could start more of them in your lineup. But Jones, Jerry Rice on Purdy versus Montana, thought way too soon. Now, I understand why Jerry Rice did it. He's an ambassador for the 49ers. He goes to a ton of games. He's obviously trying to get the fan base pumped up about their quarterback. But to compare Brock Purdy to Joe Montana, frankly, is insulting. It's just not accurate. So I love the thought and I understand it, but it's one of those where you went one bridge too far for me. So Jerry Rice, I totally understand that you're trying to be pro 49ers, but confusing or comparing Joe Montana and Brock Purdy is a disservice to arguably the second or third greatest quarterback in NFL history, at least according to Super Bowl titles. For all of those that are with us, if you have fantasy questions or you want to just talk some sports, rant about some sports, that's why I jumped on. If you guys have a question, feel free to fire away. Have a great night, Jets Info. But Jones, before I die, I want to hear Brady say, bang, bang, Niner gang. Wow. Well, he has the chance when he goes to Fox and he broadcasts some games that maybe it could happen. Ryan, the other options, Christian McCaffrey, CD, Rashad White. Okay, I'd start all of those, so I understand why you're putting the guys in the lineup that you are. IP Shade 45, can we get your favorite props for tomorrow's game? Not tonight, IP Shade 45. We'll drop those tomorrow. I actually haven't bet them yet, so I've done my research on them, but I haven't bet them yet. IP Shade 45, normally I'd give them out a little bit early, but I gotta tease out something for tomorrow, so we'll drop some plays tomorrow. Here's what I would say. Jordan Johnson, thanks for resubscribing. IP Shade 45, I will say this for you. Rams? That'll be my one teaser. Rams? So IP Shade 45, thanks so much for being with us. I hope you know how grateful I am for your support and everyone else who's watching. Really meaningful. Really meaningful. I don't know why that movie hit me the way that it did, but it certainly did in such a way where I was like, man, I don't know if I want to come on, but you guys are making it well worth it. Thanks so much for asking some great questions and joining me tonight. So, if you do have a fantasy question, fire away. Ravens players upset on being underdogs. Justified? I think the Ravens being upset about being underdogs is just something to get them motivated, but frankly, they should be aware that the 49ers are the top dog in the NFL. So they're on the, and the Ravens are on the road. So I don't really care that the Ravens are upset about being underdogs. They deserve to be. I'm sure they know they deserve to be. They're just trying to rile themselves up into a frenzy for that game. Jordan Johnson, I'm starting Baker over Fields. I'm starting Baker Mayfield over Justin Fields. Thanks for the question, Jordan, and thanks for resubscribing. Justin Lane, should I put Ford in or should I leave Achan in? I'd leave Achan in. Justin Lane, I would start Achan over Ford. Appreciate all those watching TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Wonderful to have you with us every single day. Hope you guys are loving the content and loving the show. If you are, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, we will be live at 5 p.m. on Thursday for all of our picks for live, but I promised you guys I'd come on live tonight. I was a little late, but I want to make sure I get to your questions. So if you're a subscriber, get those questions in the chat. We'll answer as many as we can, as fast as we can, and that way you guys can get a lot of confidence in for your picks, your lineups for tomorrow. Justin Lane, is Higgins a start this week? For most of you, yes, he is, unless you have better options, and not too many do. I actually think Higgins is a good start this week. Michael Pittman Jr. was a limited participant at practice on Wednesday. We'll certainly take that as a positive. So Kike is guap. Take that as good news that Michael Pittman Jr. was at least a participant in practice. That's a good thing. Felix Ray, thanks so much for subscribing, Felix Ray. Great to have you as a member of the Butt Fumble Sports community. Feel free to get your question in so we can help you out with your fantasy matchups this week. Appreciate all those who subscribe. That's why we do these night shows, to give subscribers the personal attention, the extra attention, to make sure they get everything they need. John Gonzalez, welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports team. Thanks for subscribing. Felix Ray, start Stafford or Murray? Murray actually has a better matchup than I first thought. So in doing my research for running backs, quarterbacks, and wide receivers that I really like, Kyler Murray actually, because the Bears are such a bad pass defense, Bears are good against the run. Now, they've been better, but I actually think I'd go Kyler Murray just barely over Stafford. Saints are a good pass defense. Bears are not. I'm going to go Murray, but I don't feel great about it. It's close. Thanks for the question, Felix Ray. If you have a question, it could be about anything. You want to rant about sports or hear a rant of mine. You want to talk some fantasy football, some sports betting, whatever you guys want to talk about in the sports world, we are here for it. Not going to have anyone join the show as a guest tonight. We're going to focus on questions in the chat, so get those questions in if you are a subscriber, and that way we can help you guys out in any way we can. Obviously, it doesn't get more important than this week. Felix Ray, Javonte, Pollard, or Chandler, all three are bad matchups this week, Felix Ray. I'd go Pollard just barely, but be aware all three could be really bad this week. IP Shade 45, is Yamamoto going to be Dice K 2.0, or is he going to be like Nomo? I don't know what that question's really implying. Is Dice K good? Is Nomo bad? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, IP Shade 45. I think he's going to be closer to Dice K in that when he arrives, just the attention's going to be huge. Don't forget, Dice K had 18 wins in his first season. Then again, Hideo Nomo was a Rookie of the Year. So both players came in with major success in their first year. Obviously, Nomo had a longer career, but IP Shade 45, I'm not quite sure where you want me to dive into that one. TJ, I think I'd go Browning over Flacco. TJ, I'd go Browning over Flacco just barely, I think. John Wicker, the Bengals have been playing much better of late. There are other defenses I prefer. John Gonzalez, thoughts on Jalen Hurts this week? I really like the matchup that he has. I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll... The thing is, yeah, did he have a bad week last week? Not really. 2 rushing touchdowns. He continues to deliver points for fantasy owners. So even though he doesn't have the passing stats last week that we would have liked, he still came through in a fantasy standpoint. So I'd ride Hurts until the end. Felix Ray, start the Pittsburgh defense? No, Felix Ray, no. Got Mullins on free agency. I like that one, starting him over Love. Yep, and it's all about the matchup for me. Panthers are actually a good pass defense. Can't say the same about the Detroit Lions. They've been giving up a lot of passing yards in the secondary. I'd take Mullins, Squealers. Thanks so much for the question. Great to see you tonight, Squealers. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful night, no matter where you are across this amazing world of ours, no matter the platform you're watching on. I hope you guys know just how grateful I am for this audience, for all of you guys joining us every day. I have to admit, this has already made me feel a little bit better. Felix Ray, good defense to pick up off the waiver wire. A couple of those that I would consider are the Bills, if they're available. I like the Bears as well. Obviously, the Browns, if available. The Green Bay Packers is one that I'd want to consider. So those are just a few off the top of my head. Jets are another one. Chris, yo, hope you're having a great day, Chris. Majomes, Christian McCaffrey under 118.5. Is that total yards? Is that rushing yards? Rushing plus receiving? Majomes, I haven't done my research on that one yet, so I don't want to give an indication. But I do think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a tougher day against a good run defense. Under the radar, can I trust Henry and Diggs in a must-win week after poor performances? I think you can under the radar, especially Diggs. Matt R. Jack, I'd go Browning over Mullins just because he's been operating a little bit more in that offense, so I'd go Browning over Mullins. Kike is Guap, go Butker or go Tucker? Great question. I think I'd go Butker, though. I think I'd go Harrison Butker. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Majomes, I'll do my research on Christian McCaffrey total yards, and we'll check that out a little bit later in the week. If you do have a fantasy question, all you have to do is subscribe and throw it in the comment section. We'll get to as many questions as we can before we wrap up. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Want to make sure we help you guys out in a pivotal week for fantasy owners as you guys march into the playoffs or through the playoffs to your championship matchups. We want to make sure we get you as close to that dub as possible. Appreciate all those who are with us. Uper Kev, thanks so much for sharing the channel. We grow through your support. When you tell someone about Butt Fumble Sports, you're helping us out. You're helping us grow one sports fan at a time. We are so grateful for it. Thanks so much for sharing the channel. If you guys want to get your questions in, fire away at them now. We'll be on for a few more minutes, but I promised I'd come on tonight to help you guys out. Felix Ray, if Trevor Lawrence plays, I'd go Ridley. Otherwise, I'd go Adams. It's all about whether Trevor Lawrence plays. If Trevor Lawrence plays, I'd go Ridley. John, Eckler, Flowers, London. Tricky, but for the moment, I'm leaning Drake London. John, I'd go Drake London out of that trio. Thanks for the question, John, and thanks for understanding I didn't want to take callers tonight. Just not quite in that mood after that movie. So anyways, thanks for understanding, John. Really appreciate you. And love seeing you bought some shirts from the Butt Fumble Sports store. For all of those who haven't gone to the Butt Fumble Sports store already, what is keeping you? Butt Fumble Sports has some great merchandise up on our store, whether it's a Mr. Irrelevant shirt, a Team Cashing Ticket shirt, or a Butt Fumble Sports logo item. Make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. That's buttfumblesports.com. Email me. John, I'm very happy to hear that. Email me, guys, feedback at buttfumblesports.com. Email me the name of a player you think scores a touchdown. 50% off all of those that get it right. Squealers, so happy to hear you bought a shirt. I love knowing that you guys are rocking some of our merch. Makes me feel really good. Appreciate it, guys. Adrian got Ways. Adams, Jacobs, Wilson, Rice. Choose one. I'd go Rice. Adrian got Ways. I'd go Rice. Would you trust Henry over Montgomery over Swift? I think I like Swift the most under the radar. Thanks so much, IP Shade 45. Thanks for the snow globe. Showing us a lot of love. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Avix, Hall, or Achan. I think I'd go Brees Hall, actually, Avix. I think I'd go Brees Hall. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I was not in my most optimistic, positive mood. That movie definitely hit me pretty hard, so I appreciate you guys being so kind, having some fun with me tonight. It's nice to get a bit of a distraction and talking some fantasy football after what was a very dramatic, emotional movie. So glad that I'm having some fun now with you guys. If you guys do have a fantasy question, fire away. Felix Ray, do I like the Bengals defense? Not really. They've been god-awful statistically through the season. I think they could perform better against the Steelers, but frankly, I wouldn't take the Bengals defense. They've been so bad statistically, I just don't want to ride with them. I don't have enough faith in them. Avix, Achan, or Waddle, I'm leaning towards Waddle, I think. It's close, though, Avix. I think it's a bit of a coin flip right now. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, this subscriber-only show, we focus on subscribers' questions to make sure we pay it back. Uper Kev, thanks again for the share. Really appreciate you sharing the channel. Means a lot to me. That means a lot. Appreciate you, buddy. How did we do tonight, guys? How did our bets do? Did we give out good advice? I know on the NBA we were a bit of hit or miss on some of our picks. Magic, dud. But on the whole, I thought we did pretty well. Michael, Def Point, go for a lot. Michael, I don't know what you're referencing. John, I'd go Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a must-start for me this week. Felix Ray, start Chicago defense, but have Murray at QB. Tricky, but I actually don't hate it as much as some of the other options, believe it or not. Michael, no problem. I was confused on that. The NFL is ruining Christmas with the Raiders playing the Chiefs. IV Shade 45, it's absolutely right. I'm actually really disappointed in the NFL that they're actually putting football games on Christmas. I like that the NBA had Christmas, in part because I don't feel committed to watching every NBA game in the same way I do the NFL, and I actually do like spending time with my family. I think this is one in which the NFL is starting to go a little bit too far in trying to own every holiday, every day of the week. I have to admit, there is a point in which I'm like, NFL out, and I don't really mean that, but it's like, when you're trying to pit the NFL against the NBA and my family, the NFL is ultimately going to lose on that. I'm disappointed that they didn't need to go on Christmas. Like, you could have had a Monday night game on Christmas and called Zappy at least once and get some sacks. So I do like the Broncos defense. If you have a fantasy question, fire away, guys. That's why we're here, helping you fantasy owners out in every way we can to make sure you guys are marching through the playoffs. Michael, defenses get higher points in my league. Pick one, Seahawks, Pittsburgh, Miami, or Indy. I don't like any of them. I think I'd probably go Seahawks, Michael. But frankly, I'm not crazy about any of them. I think Seahawks would be the best one, just given how the Tennessee Titans offense has operated. If you guys aren't subscribing, we do a show every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday if you don't want to subscribe and get your questions answered. John, what do you think of the lineup? Hurts, Cook, Connor, Lamb, Kupp, Ingram, Collins, Jets, and Tucker. I like it. Collins, if Case Keenum's playing, I mean, I don't like it as much for Collins. Keep your eye on Cook. He's doubtful as well. But overall, John Gonzalez, I really like the lineup. John, I'd go Ferguson over Kittle. John, Ferguson over Kittle is the play for me. What do you guys think? How are we doing tonight? Did we give out good advice? Have we helped you guys out? I hope so. John, I'm number one seed going into the playoffs. Let's go, John. Rooting for you. Hope you can claim that number one seed all the way through until a championship. Subscribers, followers, and even just the casual sports viewer. So if you do want to join the show tomorrow and get your questions answered, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our regular show during the weekdays. Obviously, we do these shows at night for subscribers. Semifinals is nerve-wracking. Kike, I'm rooting for you, buddy. We're in this together. Let's go get that dub, Kike. I'm rooting for you. Hope we can claim a title. You guys are the absolute best. I have so much fun talking to you guys every day. I'm praying on Rival Fantasy to win my league. Let's go, John. By the way, John, I talked to the guys at Rival Fantasy, and they assured me if you win the league, if you actually come in the top 3 spots, you should be expecting a prize. So I'm not worried. If you're in that Rival Fantasy League, expect to get your payout. All you got to do is finish on top. Let's go, John. Let's get that dub. Speaking of which, I've actually got to set my fantasy lineups. I haven't been as diligent as I should be in my fantasy lineups. I've got some work to do myself. Appreciate you guys staying up with us this late at night. I am going to hop off now. I know this was a quicker show for you guys, but appreciate you guys being with us. How many do you got? I have 43 leagues in total. Obviously, I didn't make the playoffs in every league because that would have been crazy. I think I'm alive in something like 28 or 29 of those 43 leagues. So still a pretty good percentage. We did pretty well overall. There are a few leagues that maybe I, frankly, just had some bad players like Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, things that didn't work out. But I think we're alive in 29 leagues, so we're doing pretty good. I'm in 6 of them. Let's go, John. Let's go. I'm pumped. Okay, guys, I am going to sign off right now. And that way I can go do some research and obviously get ready for my own fantasy matchups. We will be live at 5 p.m. tomorrow, everybody, 5 p.m. Eastern. I am so grateful for all of you guys who joined us, for all those who subscribed and gave gifts. It means a lot, really means a lot. This was a night in which I wasn't sure I was kind of emotionally up for coming on. Really appreciate you guys bringing the energy and bringing me back up to a positive state. You guys are awesome, and I hope you guys know it. I cannot wait to talk to you guys again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Until then, I hope you stay healthy, I hope you stay safe, and have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.